All right, I wanted to kind of hop on and show you how I take something from a finished idea to more of a finished, refined product. So I do a couple things when it comes to arranging, and I like to do it this way for a specific reason. I actually use this piece of gear here to help me arrange instead of just using my mouse and moving and dragging and clicking things. And the reason that I'm doing that is because I want to learn how to perform live. I've never performed live. And I want to do it with songs that I'm making, right? Because if I'm practicing with this and I'm using the clips and the songs that I know, it's going to be helpful for when there comes a time that I actually perform my own stuff live, and I will know which buttons to press and which knobs to turn and things like that. And so we're going to kind of hop into a song that hopefully will be on the album. I really like it so far, but it's been kind of strange because some of the songs that I liked before arranging them, I don't really like now. So sometimes my finished idea doesn't really make it into a great finished project. So I'm fingers crossed on this one because I really like this one. So we're going to see what I can do to kind of turn it into a finished project. I'm going to record my screen and show you kind of how I go about arranging something. So in here, I have all of the little pieces of my song, and I kind of have it arranged just a little bit. I'm going to delete all the things parts that I did not use. I have it arranged just a little bit for kind of sections that I want. But what I'm trying to do now is kind of stretch that out and pull that out so that I can make a full song. So I'll let you kind of just listen to the sections I have. So these are kind of the sections that I have. And so I'm going to kind of work off of that. And what I like to do is kind of just duplicate out. So this part right here with the vocals, this part, I want that to be the chorus. So I'm going to work up to that spot. And I know this spot is like a bridge. So I'm going to kind of pull this down a little bit. I'll delete that part. Pull it down a little bit because I know that I don't want that to appear right away. And so what I'm going to do now is kind of go through and delete things so that I can build up to that chorus and also kind of scale back and create myself like a verse. So I already have a chorus. I have a bridge. Now I'm kind of just working on getting myself a verse and putting that all together. So I kind of got a skeleton of what I want. I got a verse, I got a chorus, I got a bridge. And so now I'm kind of just putting it all together. I don't like to arrange the entire song like this. I do like to mess around and improvise a little bit. And for me right now, this is just a super rough arrangement. I'm just trying to get my ideas out. I'm not putting like transition sounds in it, and like I will pay attention to times where it feels like something is just repeating too much. Like I can already kind of tell like the bass is almost playing for the entire song. That might be something that I want to take out later just by looking at my skeleton of stuff, right? So my bad, I thought I was recording my screen. The button on this thing is just terrible. All right, but I can already tell by looking at my skeleton that some things might repeat a little bit too much, but I'm going to worry about that later. What I'm trying to do now is just get my idea out as a product, maybe not a finished product, but as a semi-finished product, and just, yeah, get it all out there, push it all out. So I'm gonna start by arranging it all, but I'm gonna use this to arrange it, and it kind of helps me, like I already said, practice performing live. And I don't know, I like the like physical touch of like a button, and like, I don't know, it just feels better to me than like clicking and moving and dragging things around inside my computer, which I will probably do later because that's a better way to fine tune stuff. But for getting my idea out, I like to use some hardware, a machine. So I'm going to get started with that right now. So let's arrange it, and you can kind of just hear it as a semi-live set. So that's kind of just a quick arrangement that I have, right? And if I pop over here, you're going to see all of this. Now, something I didn't do, which honestly happens to me like super often, is I didn't make it so it started on this first bar, so I'm going to have to drag everything over. I'm not the type of person that likes like super long songs. So I'm kind of trying to be mindful of the fact that I don't want like a 5-minute song. Like, that's not really my thing. I'm not into super long songs. So right now, this thing is like almost hitting 5 minutes. That's a really long time to be listening to music for me personally, especially because I make music that's a little bit more simple. It doesn't have a lot of elements to it. So eventually, I know I'm going to be shortening this. I'm going to be condensing it. I'm going to be taking parts out, switching things around. But this is nice for me to just kind of get a skeleton, an idea. And this also is important to me when I'm doing kind of just my, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess filtering process of like, what do I want on the album and what don't I want on the album. And the reason I'm also doing a rough arrangement is because I don't want to spend a shit ton of time on something that I'm not going to put on the album. I kind of want to keep my focus on something that I know is going to be on the album. So if I go back and I listen to this track on my phone, on my headphones, on whatever, and I'm like, yo, I fuck with this. Okay, now I'll spend time messing around with it, switching things, moving things around. Or if I'm like, yo, this sucks, I'm not really into it, then I didn't waste too much time making this track. And I can put it in my not yet folder or my maybe folder or whatever. So yeah, I just wanted to show you kind of how I do my basis for an arrangement of the track. And if I decide that this track is going to be something that'll be on the album, then maybe I'll show you how I kind of bounce back in and how it has changed from its kind of first iteration to its last. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to save it as a new one. And if you can kind of see in here, I have some things that are called arrangement 1. And so that's what I'm going to save this as, which I always spell arrangement wrong like every time I'm writing it in here. Arrangement 1. So I can go back and see, all right, what did I have from my finished idea? What changed in the arrangement? And then when I switch this arrangement, it'll be arrangement 2 or whatever. Right? So yeah, that's kind of how arranging looks for me. Hopefully this shit wasn't too long, but yeah, I'll bounce back next time I kind of have something to say about the album. Peace and thank you for watching.